Vitae, friends. I am Vitaly Portnikov. Poland and Romania have been raising the alarm on the wind among the precordini from Ukraine in the regions. Romania Lime appeared in the windy expanse of the drone. And for the words of the Ukrainian President Vladimir, 50 praises are on the windy plain of Ukraine. Poland has taken away from the appearance of a drone from the intermediaries of the proximity of the cordon in Poland. Lublin International Airport was closing. Both Poland and Romania raised aircraft into the sky in order to penetrate a drone on a windy stretch. And Romania, obviously, in order to try out an unmanned aerial vehicle. With such a rank of drone knights in Poland, we can also ray across the Russian Federation to systematic provocations of the proto-European Ukrainian cordon from Ukraine. Moreover, the TP is already on the Tilka at night, so they could be in broad daylight. And no one will call it a fallout anymore. Kolob about his washing American President Donald Trump. His imperious special presented by Keith Kella, today having found out 19 more drones on windy just and Poland could not wash. The process was also spoken by Polish speakers. Well, I think that Romania also has. I will notify you about the appearance of a drone in the windward simple of Ukraine. The Russian president is not so prag, Kola starting a nightmare, and going to Europe before the speech literally in a few days in Togo. I myself am all about Russia's attack on European Ukraine. The Russian Ochilnik destabilize Ukraine. Yaki helps Ukraine and are Ukraine with the aggressor. That's why drones are in the windy expanse of Poland and Romania. The pogroms at the address of Finland and the accumulation of troops on the cordons of Ukraine. This is due to the atmosphere of the naked Russian Belarusian Navchins, and Putin may benefit from Lukashenko's puppet to stabilize power positions and destabilize the situation in European Ukraine. The wall will not be loaded and already on the Tilki of Poland by the Baltic Ukrainians. Well, Putin, I removed the win-win tactics. There are no provocations here. I have Putin's destabilization of the situation in the light of Adolf Hitler did not know the fate of the shop of provocations. It's funny how Nicola didn't find out about Russia, and she won't find out about you. The Malaysian passenger or so-sold rocket, so she did not recognize the fact that the unmanned was in the windy expanse of Poland. So she will not recognize those provocations, maybe in the general staff of the dropped forces of the Russian Federation. The Russians need the Europeans to have, out of fear and hopelessness, a line with Russian attacks. The fact that those who are willing to fight for Russia, I am so absolutely logical to the process. Having said the Minister of the Zakordny Sprawki of the Republic of Poland Radoslaw Sikorski, I am not lying in wait. With what rank on the Russian attacks so that I did not run into direct view from the side of the Russian Federation itself? I did not understand. At times, the drone is a rocket. In beauty from Hromadian, Poland, Romania, an important object. We are not giving up. No one has been fully notified. The fact that the idea itself is still direct to the Russian Federation was turned off in Russia by Nero, literally paralyzing the political will of the European countries. It is known that the most adequate kind of behavior of the Russian threat was the creation of a split zone against the windy defense over the neighboring region of Ukraine and the voivodeship of Poland and Romania, and the regions and Ukraine, at the entrance and beer hall of our Ukraine. He did not allow Russian drones and missiles to fly to Poland, let alone before them, allegedly expressed himself in a windy workshop. Allow the Razvantage and the system against the windy defense of Ukraine, and those systems against the windy defense of the Zahidny and Pivdeny regions of our Ukraine. The center and the Cape are still very effective Russian attacks. Yaks Tilky will shoot down the mind with the discount of drones and missiles. It is not enough to demonstrate to the President of the Russian Federation his provocations against European Ukraine. They are not trying to help Ukraine for the brutal Russian aggression, but for the solidarity of civilized Ukrainians in their Notspile fight against barbarism. And at the factory, the whole topic is not technical, and there are no pennies to get them, there is no notification from the side of the Russian Federation to get them. And it is a notification that has strayed from the skin of it, and from the skin of a new Russian attack. At the factory, an absolutely logical solution. And it can be said for the past with 2020 different rock. Sound the fear that Russia is not so contagious, those cut-off calls on the call on the windy expanse, and the attack is no longer Tilka on Ukraine. And such a rank is an expression of a direct conflict between Ukraine and Central Europe and the Russian Federation. Without understanding that the president from the received states will be ready to shove this article for theirs, for a not-so-strong system against windy defense, and it will be blocked already on the NATO Riviera. Well, and still does not praise specific solutions, we can say with you a reading, well, at least for our own and Dosvidum, that the drone is the fault of the Russian Federation, about the European Ukrainians Tilky are gaining momentum. And Jack, who brought down appetites, showing fear and willingness to see potential victims from the side. Diakuyu? Inflate on the channel, subscribe to it, subscribe to my social ones on the Patreon Donatello channel, and help develop these resources through the sponsorship function of YouTube itself.